On the line, you have myself and Matt Caffrey. Matt is Director of Outreach, and I am one of the founders of Spark, as well as the director here. Who we do not have on the line, but are two integral members of the team, are Mark Silberg, who's my co-founder and a fellow director of Spark, and Candace Mitchell, who will be the program manager for the Clean Tech Up program. So we just want to make sure you have insight into all of our team. You'll likely be hearing from one of us four throughout the year as we go forward with our program. Tonight, what we largely want to do is give you an overview of our organization and talk about some of the program we are running in the fall as well as the spring. And Matt and I are going to just kind of lay out some of the things we're offering to students, both in your organization as well as how we can collaborate in the future. So to start off, as many as, or some of you know, Spark was founded about a year and a half ago, as a nonprofit that educates and empowers graduate and undergraduate students with a focus of having them pursue energy innovation. We are essentially a pipeline from campus to the marketplace. We are also developing a program called the Energy Innovators Project, which will be the focus of tonight's discussion. And really this program to get students educated on workforce development, educated on the business of energy, and how do you take tech and innovation from campus to the marketplace. We are currently engaging 250 campuses, and we're seeking to provide access to about 28 regional clusters. We will go into the cluster model a little bit later, but this is going to be the key point of entry for a lot of you and your organizations is into our regional clusters. Eventually, we will help accelerate 24 student energy companies into the marketplace. So like I said, we're essentially a pipeline between university research and the energy community. The clusters that we will talk about really serve as a way to coalesce a community that is supportive of students pursuing career in energy. A key part of this grant, and something we will talk about throughout the presentation, is our partnership with MIT Squares. VentureWell is an organization focused on accelerating student companies. They have 20 years as an accelerator, and they will be doing some work on our trainings. MIT will help guide our curriculum and provide the basis, the educational basis for our trainings in the fall. And Three Squares is an event consultancy that is focused on tailored events, particularly in sustainability and energy. We're also, like I said, engaging 250 universities, and we have 24 clean tech incubators and accelerators we are working with throughout the country. Here's a little insight into the way we are set up and operate. On this program, Mark Silberg and I are the two co-founders, are the principal investigators. Matt Caffrey, who's on the line tonight, is our Director of Outreach. He's responsible for all of our student programs and our student-facing outreach. And Candace Mitchell helps coordinate all of our partnerships and really focus on the day-to-day operations of the entire organization. Guiding us is an advisory board of about 15 to 20 mid-career professionals that are focused in the space. A lot of them have gone through energy business plan competitions or gone through grad school with a focus on energy, and now either have their own startup or work at a prestigious nonprofit or a law firm or at a energy company themselves. We also have an executive council that is informing a lot of our decisions These are a group of senior executives that help us grow and inform. We're also governed by a board of directors that you may hear from time to time. But mainly, the main focus of tonight is going to be on the Spark Fellowship, our intern program, and our Energy Innovator Project program. So what is the Energy Innovators Project? What we're talking about is really launching a program starting in September that engages 250 universities through 28 regional clusters with the goal of getting 24 student teams and student startups connected to the marketplace. So what we're doing is we're combining a traditional organizing model, which is going out, engaging people, empowering them with the resources they need to solve tough problems, with commercialization trainings with both MIT and VentureWell, and cluster development. So our end goal is to create 28 clusters throughout the country that support students and universities within the cluster, and really create an environment that supports student entrepreneurs. So our mission as an organization, the way we see ourselves in the marketplace, is orchestrating a coalition of sorts between student organizations, universities, regional incubators and accelerators, and a suite of private sector stakeholders, really to provide students a platform of resources that allows them to team up, understand the business of energy, accelerate and get ideas off the ground from the university into the marketplace, and eventually pursue careers in energy innovation. So how we organize this is we will have 28 clusters throughout the country. Matt will talk a little bit more about this. And under these 28 clusters, we will have 10 to 15 universities. These clusters will provide a forum for training throughout the fall. So we will run a fall training program with MIT creating the content, and then our group of partners also creating supplemental curriculum. But students will attend these cluster trainings at an incubation place, so they will actually be hosted by an incubator or a university in the local area. And we envision students gathering from multiple universities to come together and really go through this training together, team up, and then participate in a series of competitions. So collegiate competitions, we are partnering with 8 universities under the DOE grant that will award cash and prizes for student teams participating in business planning competitions. And these cash and prizes can range up to $600,000. So we will encourage students after going through our fall training to participate in these competitions. Spark will also host a series of ideation competitions, which I'll talk more about later. These are allowing students to solve real-world problems through either a public policy case study competition, a hackathon, or a social impact competition where we will seed fund nonprofit ideas. We will take the top 24 student teams that come out of the collegiate competitions, and we will provide acceleration training in the spring. And then we will also host a DOE national competition, which will also be a part of our national conference in June. So these are all programs we want you involved in. To give you a sense of the way we look at the year is we start out, right now we are producing a massive open online course with Bill Olet and his team at MIT. This will form the basis of our trainings throughout the fall in the clusters, as well as supplemental curriculum designed by VentureWell, the Spark team, and our coalition partners. Throughout the fall, we will have these events at incubator sites where we really implement this course, this training course, as well as provide supplemental programming, opportunities for students to interact with speakers and a local entrepreneurial community. In January, the business plan competitions begin, and we will help promote those throughout the fall. We will also have a suite of ideation competitions, and then we will focus on accelerating the top teams. In June and throughout the summer, we'll celebrate some of the successes of the great teams that come through our programs, as well as some of the great work you all are doing on campus, and really highlight the opportunities for students around the country to get involved. So that's the year overview in a nutshell. I think I will hand it over to Matt to talk about specific ways students can get involved with us as an organization.
Great, thanks so much, Butch. So, as many of you may have heard, we are currently offering a fellowship program. You may not have heard about our internship program, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about both programs now. So let's go to the next slide. So let's talk about the fellowship program. Butch has already talked about how we would like to have 28 cities engaged in the program this fall with the innovative education course, connecting students to MIT's curriculum and helping connect them to the local ecosystems in their community. We are looking for graduate and undergraduate student leaders in either energy, business, or policy, something related to the clean energy field. And we want to help them build and support student energy innovation ecosystems in their own community. This is really a leadership building opportunity for students across the country to really take ownership of this program and build it in their own backyard. So the fellowship key dates and responsibilities are August 20th. This is our new deadline. As some of you may have heard, we extended our deadline a few days to allow students a little bit more time to apply during this busy move-in season and kind of the wind down of the summer and wind up of the academic year. We are going to be onboarding fellows starting on August 30th, and they'll have their first events on September 29th when we have a kickoff to get folks excited for the program. Now, the fellows will be responsible for recruiting 150 students from 10 or more universities in their area, and they will serve as sort of part teaching assistant for the Energy Ventures course that Butch mentioned before is a massive open online course based in MIT's curriculum, but they'll also develop localized curriculum that connects students to their regional ecosystem. And they will, over the full year, even after the fall is over and the course is ended, they will help to encourage participation among students who took the course in the Department of Energy's business plan competitions and the other programs that Butch will talk a little bit more about later. Okay, so now the internship. The internship is a little bit different. Applications are due the same day, August 20th, and we will have interns start on September 1st. The program will end on December 11th. So it's just it's a semester program rather than a year-long program. And there are two tracks. First is a social media marketing and design track. And this person is really responsible for developing and implementing a lot of our social media campaign, which really helps to amplify the work that we're doing across the country and the work that so many of you are doing with your student organizations across the country. These folks will be invaluable to helping get our message out where students are already paying attention across the country. And we've seen a lot of success with this program already over the summer, where an intern's been doing a great job. And we want to expand the program, bring on two really great social media marketing and design interns this fall. Next, and this might be interesting to some of you out there too, we're offering a regional outreach track for the internship with 8 spots, one for each of the 8 regions across the country. And these folks will provide administrative and research support for a fellow in 3 to 5 cities, which is great. And they'll identify student leaders and stakeholders in their region. They will serve as the main point of contact for any programmatic questions that they have for our national board. really help be the connection between the fellow and our national staff, and provide really necessary resources and guidance and coaching and just additional support for the fellows. So moving on, I want to show you what this cluster is going to look like. Now, this is the kind of the support structure for the fellowship, and it kind of tells you how the two interact. So in addition to the intern, there's going to be an advisor that is a industry veteran from the energy industry. Many of them have participated in clean energy business plan competitions before. Many of them are experienced within the region that they will be advising. And so this is this community. There will be 8 of these sort of circles in the country. Well, each intern will be assigned to one, and then each fellow will be assigned to one of the 8. The advisor is going to help develop local supplemental curriculum that's useful to students on the ground, helps them understand the industry and know where to start to become innovators. They will connect fellows with regional stakeholders, and they will be responsive to the fellows' questions and requests. They'll also be a regional competition organizer. So Butch mentioned before that there is a kind of first stage of the Clean Tech Up National Business Plan competition, and that phase is housed at 8 universities across the country. Now, each of those universities has an organizer that's responsible for their competition, and those folks will sit on each of our 8 cluster teams to advise the fellows and to help make sure that the supplemental curriculum is useful, connect fellows to local university contexts, make sure the fellows are aware of regional resources, and then provide insights on what students will need to be successful at their competitions. But then last, again, the regional outreach intern. This is, again, supporting 3 to 5 fellows in a region of the country with outreach, support, and logistics, and then serving as a liaison back to Spark Leadership. So I just want to make sure you all understand how the fellow and the intern are different. The fellow is on the ground implementing the program and helping students engage in the massive open online course, helping connect them to the local clean energy ecosystem in their community. And the intern is kind of providing support from afar for 3 to 5 fellows. So I want to share with you the map of these regions that we're talking about. So you can see each color represents a region here. And then each of the stars is where we're going to be bringing on one of the fellows, at least as of now. We may still change this map so just a little bit. But you can see 3 to 5 fellows in each region of the country. You can see where the collegiate competition associated with each of these regions will be at University of Central Florida in Orlando, at Rice in Houston, at Caltech in LA, at UC Berkeley in the Bay Area, at Clean Energy Trust in Chicago, Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh, Rutgers University in New Jersey, and then MIT. And you can see the cities that are listed here. So hopefully that's helpful as you're kind of imagining where this is all taking place. Now, some of you might be asking, well, I don't see my city as one of the ones listed. We have 2 answers to that. One is that we are considering adding additional cities in areas that are underserved, that there's not a local cluster nearby. We do want to encourage folks to travel to a local cluster for an event or 2 to be part of that community if they can. But if you're too far, we are going to do everything we can to support organizing your own meetup to take the massive open online course, organizing your own guest speakers, tuning in to national supplemental curriculum that we will make available so that you can hear about the latest and greatest in some of the clean tech industries. And so we're going to do everything we can to support you. So, for example, if you're like a friend of mine in Texas Tech in the middle of nowhere, don't worry, we are going to provide support for you all as well.
Great, Matt. Thanks. So I want to kind of run through what will happen specifically at these clusters, and we can, so you have an understanding of what exactly is going on. First is our MIT Energy Ventures MOOC. This will form the basis of our training throughout the fall. As Matt alluded to, we will launch this likely in mid-October. This course will be taken online, but it can also be taken at an incubator cluster with a bunch of other students, where we will provide supplemental curriculum. But really, the theory behind this course is only 11 universities in the U.S. teach courses on energy entrepreneurship and tech commercialization. MIT has one of the more successful, arguably the best course in this, and it's led by a team by Bill Lett, Frankie O'Sullivan, and Todd Hines. This course has built several teams that have gone on to to receive follow-on funding. And it's been really, the model has been really successful for MIT and for the larger Boston Cambridge community. So Spark will be working with a MOOC production team to really translate the Energy Ventures course online. And what we will do is then show this course at our cluster trainings, as well as, like Matt had said, provide supplemental curriculum for the students, so they really get that experiential learning you would as if you were taking Bill Lett's class. We will do things like teaming, we will do things like case studies, we will bring in local speakers, our fellows will identify local speakers, opportunities, and provide mentorship, etc. So really, students benefit from that, from attending the course at an incubator. Spark Fellows, as I mentioned, will implement their own events, such as panels and mentorship sessions, as a part of these training sessions throughout the fall. After the training sessions, you heard me talk a little bit about the competitions. With DOE, we are partnered with 8 collegiate competitions. So we serve as a national hub for the 8 collegiate competitions under the CleanTech Up Hub grant. These 8 collegiate business plan competitions are hosted by UC Berkeley, Caltech, Rice, Clean Energy Trust in Chicago, UCF, Central Florida, Carnegie Mellon, Rutgers, and MIT. And they really are partners in informing our programs, as well as going out, trying to get as many students as possible to compete in these collegiate competitions and make sure they're prepared, and have all the resources they need to be successful. On top of that, we are hosting ideation competitions. This is something Spark has done in the past, where we propose a real-world problem for students to solve. This will, and typically we have private or public sector partners that sponsor these competitions, and we are planning to do 3, one in public policy, so case study competition, one funding social impact ideas through a nonprofit, and we'll seed fund that, and then data solutions. So we're looking to have a hackathon, such as Greentown Labs has done, Lacey has done as well, really figuring out how students that are focused on computer science can also contribute to energy efficiency. The final thing, both the collegiate and ideation competitions will be hosted in the winter and early spring. And the final thing we do is we will host a national competition. This will also double as a national conference. So we are looking to get as many student organizations together as possible. We're like to announce the location and dates of the national conference early in the fall so students can plan for it. But there will be opportunities both to showcase the best in energy innovation, but also for companies to come in and leaders in the energy industry, clean energy industry, to interact with students, and then students to talk about some of the great things going on campus. So it's a great way for you all to plug in. Final thing we are doing is commercialization trainings through our partner VentureWell. I talked a little bit about this earlier, but there will be 24 teams that go through this. They will follow the collegiate competitions, and we will help those top 24 teams really get to the next level through both this commercialization training, which we will host, uh, as well as connecting them with follow-on services through our partners. And I'll kick it back to Matt to talk a little bit about our communication strategy.
Great. Thanks very much, Butch. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, great. So we have kind of a three-tiered approach to getting our message out to students who might be interested in participating in this program. So first, we will work with national publications to try to get the word out to promote the Energy Innovators Project in every way we can. And we're going to particularly focus that around the kickoffs and then moving forward on through the national conference that Butch was just sharing about. In addition, we will have our own content that we create through blog posts, podcasts, YouTube videos, infographics, etc. And these are opportunities to tell stories about students that are participating in Spark, the great innovative work that's happening on campuses across the country, and really what our programs mean in the real world. And then last, of course, we'll have social media, which is, of course, a distribution channel for some of our own content, some of what we might, have covered by the national media, but of course, it's also somewhere where we can curate content that other people are producing and deliver it to our audience in a way that's compelling and is interesting to student innovators across the country. I wanted to share an example of what our own content looks like. So this recent post was by Courtney Gross is a great example. So Courtney recently participated in a clean energy business plan competition just, I think, 2 or 3 years ago as a student from the University of Akron, which as a former Ohioan, I feel comfortable saying, not exactly the most happening place in the country. And yet through the clean energy business plan competition, she was able to take her knowledge and her know-how from engineering and learn some of the business skills that she needed. And today they are kind of through the first phase of raising funds for their startup, hosted an incubator in Akron, and are thriving with their battery technology. And she kind of shares her story in this blog post and describes how a program like Spark would really have helped her, an engineering student that didn't really know how to start a business in college, what that experience was like for her and how valuable Spark would have been if it had existed when she was a student, which we really appreciated. That's the kind of thing we want to share the stories of people who are participating in our programs, whether they be students or others. And we really know that you all out there have great things going on your campuses, compelling stories, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And of course, on our social media page, we try to have a mix of promoting our own content and sharing folks from other sharing information from other sources and encouraging folks to get engaged. And so we'll talk about that more in just a moment.
So at the end of the day, this is, we wanted to gather this group, and we will be having a few of these over the next couple of days. Next couple of weeks, actually, with both student organization and partner organizations across the country. And really, we want to partner. This works as if only if we have strong partnerships and strong opportunities to get together with great organizations that are actually operating on campus. So what we want to do is talk about some of the co-marketing opportunities that we will have throughout the year. Throughout the fall, there are basically 3 things that we are looking to do. One is, recruit and onboard a group of fellows. So Matt has, information concerning our fellowship. We can share it with you. We'd love for you to forward it on to your memberships and like-minded organizations and really increase applicants. We have just extended the deadline. So we have seen, I think, we had close to 150, 200 applicants thus far, and there's been such interest that we want to keep it open. So if you know anybody interested in the fellowship, it's very easily application. We encourage them to apply. Spark, as we talked about, is going to be hosting throughout the fall. We would love to promote these sessions to your organization. Matt and our fellows are going to be hard at work engaging your organizations and other groups. But if you could be a distribution channel for us, that'd be great. The other thing is we're always looking to talk to more organizations on campus, particularly as we get into the fall. We will have our fellows on board in regional clusters. So if you really think there's other organizations in your region that we should be talking to or on your campus, definitely plug them in. We're all about building a coalition and movement, and Matt's information is going to be shared at the end of this, but we want to talk to these folks and we want to get them involved. In the spring, the three things that we are looking to do is collegiate competitions, any Spark events, and then the Spark ideation competitions. We really want to encourage participation in all our events. It gives as many students the opportunity to participate as possible. So you helping us get the word out, it really benefits students and helps inform them of these opportunities, as well as get them plugged in and get them to utilize our resources. In the summer, again, we would love for all your organizations to be involved in our national conference. We will be gathering groups and universities throughout the country. It will be a conference. We're shooting for about 300 attendees. It will also be a national competition. So we really want your organizations to be involved and to participate. And this is about, again, sharing ideas, interacting with students all across the country. And then,
yeah.
Matt, you would like to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. Great. So, and I think that there are some great opportunities for collaboration with student organizations. We are happy to try and support student organization events, energy club events on your campuses. If it's something that's relevant to the audience of students we're trying to talk to, if it's relevant to helping promote student participation in clean energy, we want to support those things. And we also, want to connect Spark to more folks across the region, as Butch was just talking about. We also are creating a catalog of resources, competitions, events, educational resources like MOOCs, Massive Open Online courses, to keep on the Spark website to curate so that it is useful and available to students across the country. It's something we are doing as part of our Department of Energy grant. But that means that if you have a resource that you all have created on your campus and you think it's useful, if you have an event that you're trying to promote, we will include it. And the other side of that is that if you are looking for resources or competitions or for events or whatever it might be for your student organization, that'll be available to you. Same goes on social media, right? We want to share your content, and we would love for you all to help promote Spark content if it's mutually relevant to our audiences. And I think that you all have a story to tell. And so this kind of goes to this last point that we want to share stories of student innovators and entrepreneurs across the country. We think it's really helpful for the word to get out that students are passionate about this issue and that they want to be part of the solution as part of addressing climate change or making our energy grid more reliable and resilient, whatever it might be. They want to be involved in that solution, and we want to get that story out. So if you are a person that wants to share your story, we can talk to you. We can work with you over the next months. And that could look like a blog post, a YouTube video, or it could be press coverage. We're going to be engaging national outlets, and we want to make sure that your story gets in front of them too. And that's all we got. So our information is here. Please, if you don't already have my name and phone number and email address, write it down. I'm going to be your main point of contact for the program that we're running this fall. Butch's information is on there too. And I'm sure you guys can reach out to him if you're interested. But I think what you've heard tonight is this program is going to be available to students across the country. It is going to be a compelling educational opportunity through these massive open online courses and the in-person gatherings across the country. We're going to have a series of competitions to provide students an opportunity to take the next step and to take what they learn and put it into action and hopefully get some seed money for their concept. Then we're going to take some of the best of those ideas and accelerate them onto the national conference where they can win even more seed money. I think it's a really exciting opportunity for any student that cares about this issue or who just wants to pursue it as an interest or as a career option. And I think it's going to be really compelling, and I can't wait to do it all with you. So at this point, we'd love to take any questions that you guys have. There's a chat box, or I think you can raise your hands also. I can probably turn on your microphones if you have a question. Oh, okay. I see one person with the hand up. Oh, and I see. Okay, so is this presentation available after the webinar? I think we can absolutely make it available to you, Kate. That's no problem. And I'll email it out to attendees right after this. Let's see. Great, good. So Jason asks, where do I go to see what the case studies look like for policy specifically? I don't, Butch, can I pitch that to you?
So the policy case study, is that competition? Is that what we
Yeah.
want to talk about, Matt?
Yep.
Great. Yeah. So what we're thinking about is we're looking to partner with Energy Innovation, which is an offshoot of the Energy Foundation. And they have run a series of policy case studies in the past. And basically, it's a day-long or two-day, process where they release a public policy problem, and then students come up with a policy approach to solve that problem. The details will likely come in, later in the fall into the winter. But we are talking with some of our, partners, including Navigant, about sponsoring this, and we will announce this both on Spark's website, the opportunity to do this, and give students, a week instead of like 2 days. We'll probably do a week to really come up with a policy solution, and the competition will award cash and prizes. But that's what it'll be. It'll be, here's a problem in energy policy, and we need a policy solution for it, and we will likely open that up to a lot of different people.
Great. Jason, if you have a follow-on, please feel free to ask it. But in the meantime, Anand, you had your hand raised, so I'm going to unmute you. You're good to go.
Oh, I had my question answered.
Okay, wonderful. Yep, no problem. Okay, great. Any other questions tonight, folks? If not, we really appreciate you making the time with us this Thursday night. I know that there are other things you could be doing. If you have any questions or comments or follow-ups, please feel free to reach out. My phone number and email are on the screen now. And we really appreciate you all joining us tonight. Thank you so much, and we'll call it a night.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. This is Butch. We really appreciate you joining. Matt will be your main point of contact, but if you also have any questions, you can feel free to email me. My email is up there as well. And we look forward to being in touch with you all.
Have a good night.